What else can you do with Bitcoin? Do you even understand what Bitcoin is after we just watched that story? Many might not. Brett Larson here to try to sort of make it all make sense. Okay, you're a morning anchor for Fox News Headlines 24/7,
yes.
And a buddy of mine. All right, first of all, in layman terms, what is Bitcoin?
It is digital cash. It is what is called a cryptocurrency. It is something that is sort of in the ether of the world. It's not something you physically hold on to. You're not actually, they're showing the coin there, but you're not, if you buy a Bitcoin, you're not going to get an actual coin that you take. You're going to get a percentage of something that has value to it.
Okay, so you take your money out of your bank.
Right.
And you put it in an account with Bitcoin.
Right. So you would go to a Bitcoin exchange.
Okay.
Kind of the same way you'd go to a bank, and you'd open a bank account and you'd put cash in it, and the bank would take care of your cash and make sure that it was safe. With a Bitcoin, you go to a Bitcoin exchange, you put your money into that, and it gives you a certain percentage of a Bitcoin. Let's say the Bitcoins are $10,000, so you're going to put $10,000 and you have a Bitcoin, and now you can go spend it. And what's interesting about the cryptocurrencies is you can spend them fractionally. So it's sort of like in a dollar, there's 100 pennies. So in a Bitcoin, it's whatever the value is. So if somebody says, I need 10 bucks from you, well, you figure out, okay, that's however much percentage of a Bitcoin, I'll transfer.
I think a lot of people get frustrated with their banks because there's all these hidden service fees. And if you don't actually watch your checking account like a hawk and use a debit card like myself, which is my Visa, so all my spending
goes through one
If
place.
I don't actually check, which I'll be honest, I don't have time to actually look at every month at all the service fees. If you go and check, you'll find there are service fees there.
There's a lot of service fees.
What about with Bitcoin? I mean, you are in charge of your money.
You're in charge
You don't
of
have a
it.
bank, but are you paying fees for this service?
You may be paying fees to buy them, similar to how when you buy stocks, you may pay $4 for a stock trade. What's sort of fascinating about the concept of a cryptocurrency is, for your bank, there's one place where all the data is served. Granted, it's backed up in several places, but there's one database. With these cryptocurrencies, they're using, as Deirdre explained, these blockchains, which is, imagine like 10 people in a room and they all have a ledger and they're all holding it out. And you walk in and you say, I have $100, and they all go, yeah, he's got $100. That's correct. All of them say that. That's what sort of keeps it safe, is this transparent layer of security where it's all these little bits of information all have the same bits of information that sort of prove you are who you are.
So basically the blockchain technology prevents you from being hacked. So you don't have to worry about your money being hacked into, because that is a concern as well, that somebody could hack into your account and take your cash.
And take all your cash. Now, somebody could hack into a Bitcoin exchange and create some problems.
Because if somebody hacks into my Chase account, but Chase is going to take responsibility. Who takes responsibility for your money other than yourself?
That's where we don't know. That's sort of weird gray area that is scary to a lot of people, and it should be. It's new technology. It's fascinating technology. The way that this was like
can't be bulletproof,
something.
though. I just don't think anything is bulletproof.
Nothing is going to be bulletproof. I'm curious to see how, when Wall Street starts paying attention to it, when they start trading futures, when it becomes something that is tangible and tradable and hedge fundable, if that's a word.
It is now.
It is now. Then I think people are going to start paying closer attention to it. But the blockchain technology is fascinating because you're basically saying you can't hack something that exists everywhere.
What's cool is you don't actually have to carry your wallet with you if you go out to dinner, and you don't have to use your credit card because you've got the cash on your phone. So long as that restaurant takes it. Are a lot of participating restaurants involved? I personally have never seen it.
At like airport stores and big international airports where they'll say, we take Bitcoin. You think that's kind of strange. What's interesting, though, about Bitcoin specifically, since it's gone up so much in value, is cash isn't really like that. If you put $100 in the bank, you have $100. If you put $100 into Bitcoin, it might be $300 tomorrow, and it might be $50 the day after, since the value keeps going up and down. So I'm curious to see how this rolls out in the future, but it's also bringing in a whole group of people into the global economy, because when you think about, there's no physical currency. You could go to a village somewhere in the middle of nowhere and say, hey, we're going to put these solar panels on your roof with a battery, and it's, 0.00005 Bitcoin to power your place for a month, and you might be able to then go trade the apples that you picked for 50 Bitcoin or whatever it is, and suddenly you bring the ability
Right.
to exchange goods for money to places that have never had that before. So there's a lot to
Yeah.
this story that I think we're just on the cusp of it.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
And it's
All right.
interesting.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stick with my
You're
debit card.
You're going to go with
That's
your
all
cash
right.
and your PayPal
Yeah,
and your
that's
Venmo.
okay.
I'm with
yeah,
you on
that's
that.
okay. All right, Brett Larson, great to see you. Thanks for coming
Good
in
to see
on
you
a
too, Julie.
Saturday.
Thanks.